Hey friends, this is Dixon Kavanaugh, and welcome to another episode of Outloud with Dixon, where we will explore wisdom, get creative, and better appreciate this fun, chaotic, and beautiful world that we live in. Today, I will be reading the first agreement of the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And today's reading and podcast is going to be a sort of experiment. In the past, I've read entire excerpts from books, older books. But because the 4 Agreements is a newer book, I'll be doing a sort of book review so as to be in line with the law and not infringe on any copyrights. Instead of having analysis at the beginning, reading the excerpt, and then analysis and a meditation at the end, I will be reading brief quotes followed by analysis interspersed throughout the episode. In this way, we'll have a cohesive message and carefully work our way through the first agreement of the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I could have read the whole book and made the episode a bit longer, but you know what? I'm of the opinion that speed reading is a bit misguided. I believe that if something is worth reading, it's worth reading carefully, with an eye for practical application and personal meaning. And to provide you with some context for the first agreement, Mr. Ruiz is giving us this wisdom from the Toltec lineage, a lineage of shamans and healers, known natively as Naguals. This lineage of healers lived in the Mesoamerican plain in present-day Mexico. He is providing us with a simple system, a framework of 4 parts, and to quote, transform our lives to a new experience of freedom, true happiness, and love. And in the preface to the 4 Agreements, he details how as humans, we have been raised, socialized, and domesticated by society to have certain beliefs about how the world works, a lot of which are negative and don't serve us. Ruiz calls these beliefs about the world agreements, and that we have thousands of agreements that act as a sort of filtering lens with which we interpret the world, others, and ourselves. It's like throwing on a pair of crazy sunglasses at a concert. There's so many different angled lenses and colors that all the light is distorted and bent, and who's to say what is real? Through his stories, Ruiz is prodding us to both eliminate old negative agreements and adopt new agreements. Specifically 4 agreements, hence the name the 4 Agreements. And in divorcing old agreements and adopting new ones, we increase our personal power. And this isn't hyperbole. We all have first-hand experience of eliminating a negative belief, a bad habit. One day, we realize our mistakes and move forward. We are compelled forward with a new energy, not energy that comes from food or for sleep, but a psychological and spiritual energy that is born when we align with our values and develop as humans. It's like we had a chain holding us down, and when we break the chain link, all the energy built up inside explodes and pushes us forward. So if the idea of moving forward, pushing forward sounds good to you, gather around and listen close and join me as we dive into the world of the 4 Agreements. Quote, the first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. It sounds very simple, but it is very, very powerful. Why your word? Your word is the power that you have to create. Your word is the gift that comes directly from God. The Gospel of John in the Bible, speaking of the creation of the universe, says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God and is God. Through the word, you express your creative power. It is through the word that you manifest everything. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent manifests through the word. What you dream, what you feel, and what you really are will all be manifested through the word. End quote. I want to highlight this creative aspect of our word and our voice. How often do we go through our day using the same old boring words? That our day is good, that we are fine, the food is okay. How much more fun would life be if we exercised a tad bit more creativity in how we talk with others? If we employ some transformational vocabulary, all of a sudden, our life becomes spectacular, our day is gorgeous, and our food is scrumptious. Our words impact how we experience the world. They also influence how we experience other people and how they experience us. I very much enjoy complimenting people. I tell them they are beautiful and they are glowing and praise them for their strength and intelligence. Am I being manipulative? Absolutely not. These compliments come from a place of sincerity, and I know that when I speak these words into existence, the people I am surrounded with will embody those words as if they are true. When someone is told they are beautiful and glowing, their eyes light up and they smile. Someone praised for being impressive all of a sudden stands up straighter and has an air of confidence. For Don Miguel Ruiz, if we want to live in a beautiful world, we first must create that beautiful world with our words. Quote, "The human mind is like a fertile ground where seeds are continually being planted. The seeds are opinions, ideas, and concepts. You plant a seed, a thought, and it grows. The word is like a seed. And the human mind is so fertile. The only problem is that it is often fertile for the seeds of fear. Every human mind is fertile, but only for those kinds of seed is prepared for. What is important is to see which kinds of seeds the mind is fertile for, and to prepare it to receive the seeds of love." End quote. I love this passage because it exactly mirrors the ideas put forth in James Allen's As a Man Thinketh. If you remember back to earlier episodes when we covered that book, it's that our outer world, our outer circumstances, are all a natural result of our inner world, our thoughts. We reap what we sow. And when we cultivate loving thoughts on a consistent basis, we will yield a life of abundant love and peace. This next quote is about what happens when we do not follow the first agreement, when we are not impeccable with our word. Quote, "We have learned to lie as a habit of communication. The power of the word is completely misused in hell. We use the word to curse, to blame, to find guilt, to destroy. Of course, we also use it in the right way, but not too often. Mostly, we use the word to spread our personal poison, to express anger, jealousy, envy, and hate. The word is pure magic. The most beautiful gift we have as humans, and we use it against ourselves. We plan revenge, we create chaos with the word. We use the word to create hate between different races, between different people, between families, between nations. We misuse the word so often, and this misuse is how we create and perpetuate the dream of hell. Misuse of the word is how we pull each other down and keep each other in a state of fear and doubt. Because the word is the magic that humans possess, and misuse of the word is black magic. We are using black magic all the time without even knowing it, without even knowing that our word is magic at all." End quote. Earlier in the story, Ruiz gives the example of Hitler and how through the power of his voice and word, he riled an entire nation to massive violence. This passage works to raise our level of awareness as to how powerful our word and voice really is. On one side, it has the creative power to color the world and to lift others up. And on the other side, it is capable of destruction and death. One form of using the word in the wrong way is gossip. Ruiz equates gossip to a computer virus. And to quote the book, quote, "All of this mess can be caused by one little computer virus. One little piece of misinformation can break down communication between people, causing every person it touches to become infected and contagious to others. Imagine that every single time others gossip to you, they insert a computer virus into your mind, causing you to think a little less clearly every time. Then imagine that in an effort to clean up your own confusion and get some relief from that poison, you gossip and spread these viruses to someone else." End quote. This quote is a good example of why careful reading is so important. He's asking us to imagine ourselves being infected, getting cloudy, and becoming more confused every time we hear gossip. When I first read this, I thought, hell no. In fact, I'm going to imagine the exact opposite. Next time someone starts to gossip, I'm going to grow a little taller, my eyes are going to blink open with a pop, and my mind will get even clearer, even more aware. Why? Because I want to make sure I don't get mindlessly absorbed into their gossip, and my new awareness will help me guide the conversation in a new, positive direction. You see, the negative chit-chat actually triggers me to be more alert, not more stupid. But Ruiz is doing something really powerful. He's helping us feel and see how painful gossip really is, how sick it makes us. Now I'm human. I've done my fair share of gossiping, even gossiped about my best friends to my other best friends. How screwed up is that? And as humans, we have the choice to become better, to train ourselves to be better. So next time we hear someone, maybe even ourselves, start to gossip, we grow a bit taller, our eyes blink wide with a pop, and we guide the conversation in a new, positive direction. And to quote the book, quote, "You can transcend the dream of hell just by making the agreement to be impeccable with your word. Right now, I am planting that seed in your mind. Right now, I am planting that seed in your mind. Whether or not the seed grows depends on how fertile your mind is for the seeds of love. It is up to you to make this agreement with yourself. I am impeccable with my word. Nurture this seed, and as it grows in your mind, it will generate more seeds of love to replace the seeds of fear. This first agreement will change the kind of seeds your mind is fertile for. End quote. So right now, let's take a moment to nurture this seed. Let's take a moment to feel and hear the creative power of our voice. Let's choose to begin the journey of becoming more impeccable with our word. No more gossip, no more lies, no more poison. I am impeccable with my word. I am impeccable with my word. I am impeccable with my word. Thank you for joining me for today's episode. I very much appreciate you for listening in. I hope that today's message has gotten the wheels turning, and I know that it has for me. I'm especially grateful to everyone spreading the word and sharing Out Loud with Dixon with their friends and loved ones. And remember, most importantly, live with presence, confidence, and love.